This video is not going to be like our normal news. Lots of people are saying that 2K25 is the worst 2K ever created. What you're watching today is maybe 25% of some of the craziest stuff that's happened to me so far on this game that I felt like clipping up. I want you guys to understand that I have never made a video like this. We talk about issues in the news videos and stuff like that, but today we have a lot to talk about that's very important for the state of 2K25. Now, I want you guys to understand that you are allowed to critique a game even if you don't hate it. I don't necessarily hate 2K25. I can have fun on the game. But I do believe that it has way too many issues, especially for being one of, if not the most expensive game to enter in. You have to pay a lot of money for this product, and it has a lot of problems. So I think where we should start is from Dazar. If you guys don't know who Dazar is, he's a NBA 2K developer, the president of #SimNation. His opinions do not reflect Take-Two Interactive. He's a 2K employee. And he said this about 2K in 2023. Part of the difficulty is more realistic movement equals less user control. When we make it more realistic, users complain that the game feels stiff because you have to wait for foot plant or ball position to change directions. In a video game, control is king, which conflicts realism. One of the biggest issues with 2K25 for a lot of people is the feel of the game, okay? Lots of us understand that, how the game actually feels. 2K, one of their biggest advertisements, by the way, was precise stops and explosive launches. This was in the trailer. You guys can go back and watch the trailer for 2K25. That was there. But what I did was I sat down for, I don't even know, 15, 20 minutes, and I thought of every issue I could think of in 2K25. Like actual issue. You guys can add to them in the comment section. Please do that. You all know I don't care about getting a logo. This isn't a script, by the way, that I'm reading off of. But I don't care about a logo or, you know, being a part of the cool kids club, stuff like that. I feel like it's very important to be transparent with your audience, the people that watch you, the people that put food on your table with the game that I make content on, because obviously a lot of people feel negatively about it. And so do I. There's a lot of issues with this game, okay? So I sat down for 20 minutes at the most, thinking of a lot of the issues the game has. So let's begin. Hands up gets way too many steals due to passing being flawed. Putting your hands up, right, just to, you know, guard someone, I guess, like you were actually guarding them on the perimeter, gets way too many steals. Players don't try at all to throw the ball around, above, or to the side of defenders on 2K25. It's been like this for a long time. Cheaters not fixing it at all. They don't fix cheaters, guys. In 2K25, they took out the meter for Pro-Am, Stage, and then where's the other one? Proving Grounds, right? This is how you guys know I'm not on a script, by the way. But they took out the meter so that people can't cheat in these areas. But something that is very, very obvious, if you just think about it, is that that is where the lowest amount of player base is in Park. The lowest amount of players play in Stage and in Pro-Am, and then now with Proving Grounds not even working, which we'll talk about in a minute, no one wants to play Proving Grounds because it doesn't work. It doesn't actually work correctly. I would say 90% at least of the community plays Park, Rec, Theater, all places where you can use the meter, where you can cheat. Because you have a meter on does not mean you're cheating, by the way, but there is a cheat, if you don't know, where you have to have the meter on currently. There's currently no meter working script. We're not going to get deep into that. But the game, shooting wise, has been changed so heavily to try to combat these cheaters, which they can't even combat correctly, that it's penalized all the people that play in the majority of the modes where people majority play. You see what I'm saying? Most of the modes that we play in have cheaters in it, and yet the game was made incorrectly with the shooting to be very random, to have RNG, no green window, all this type of things that we could really get deep into for places that most people don't even play is where it was fixed at. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, whites going in. We brought back, or we actually incorporated green or miss a few 2Ks ago. And I'm honestly okay with having a game where whites go in. But not in a game where we have low risk, medium risk, high risk. There is almost no point of being on high risk when you can just smack whites. You know what I'm saying? By the way, shout out to WAF6. These clips are his. His link is in the description. He's a really good YouTuber, and he's also transparent about how the game is. But whites go in way too much on this game. Real player percentage layups have been proven to be better, basically, than every layup profile. Low risk, medium risk, high risk. This is another spot where I'm okay with the game having the ability, because in so many other 2Ks we didn't have to time layups, right? But there shouldn't be an option to not time layups and time layups in the game, especially if not timing it is way better. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. Of course, we could talk about latency for a long time. 2K has been notorious for years for having bad servers. You know, the latency is horrible. Every year the game comes out, 2 years in a row now, the game has had a really bad latency problem. Bad enough for people to complain about it, to where 2K goes and fixes it, but they only fix it back right around to where 2K normally has, like where it normally is. You know what I'm saying? They make it better, but it's still bad. 2K is the only game I play where I have specifically bought a 0.5 millisecond latency monitor. I have a controller. You guys know I've talked about the controllers many of times. You can get Power A, Victrix, but I have many different bought controllers specifically to get less latency, because that's what you have to do, all these things, kinda. You don't have to, but it almost forces you, if you want to play where you should be playing in terms of your skill, to buy these things. You know what I'm saying? The controller's plugged straight in to my system, which is another thing to get less latency. In other games, I don't have to do any of that, guys. I can play on a normal controller. I can play on a TV if I want. You're not going to notice the problems nearly as bad, except for on 2K. Now, we could talk about, I have BC prices there. We could talk about that, right? Microtransactions, clothing prices, you know, 2K making the quests have less VC this year. What's another one? They have the events that are all messed up. The quests literally give you 2,500. Like a good example is Rebirth last year gave you 10,000, I believe. Now it gives you 2,500. You have to do more on the quest to get less VC for a lot of these. They have events. They've just slowly added this into the game now, where double level events, you have to buy clothing to participate in those events. Some of them are cheap, like 2,000 VC, you know, 3,000 VC, but some of the events are like 10,000 for a day. Those don't carry over into the next event. A lot of them don't. You have to now spend that. So let's say someone comes home from work and they just want to play 10 games and get double level. Well, they have to spend 10,000 BC for 10 games of double level. It's crazy to me what's going on, and they're just slowly sneaking things in like that. The contest system is awful. We all know the contest system is one of the worst things about 2K25. And recently, I've played a lot. If you guys have been listening to the news videos and stuff, or my last Kevin Durant video, I played on a Kevin Durant build and my 7-foot playmaker that I really enjoy playing on. My actual build that I made, and then a Kevin Durant on another guy's account. So I played on 2 tall dribbling builds, plus my Wemby build if you want to count that. The only thing I can think of for the contest system being as bad as it is for tall builds to be able to shoot over smaller defenders. That's the only excuse that I could maybe even think of, but I don't want to give 2K an excuse because it's bad. Before we go any further, let's talk about the sponsor of our video, Prize Picks. On here, you can get $50 by just putting 5 in for your first games. Once you sign up with my link in the description, you can go to the NBA, and it's this easy to play. Dyson Daniels, 12.5 point projection. If you think he's going to have 13 or more, you go more. 12 or less, you go less. Steph Curry, 24.5 points. You only got to get 1 more right, guys. You can do this within less than a minute. 24.5. I think he's going to score 25 or more tonight. I'm going more, and that's it, guys. Link is in the description. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring this video. It is really, really bad And this is one of the things where I have to say, before the game even came out, and I'm sure some of you guys heard me say this before, I told you the contest system was going to be bad before the game came out. Because the way they described it was just like 2K19, which was not a good contest system. I'm not saying it was a bad game. I'm just saying the contest system was really bad, okay? They said basically the most important part of the contest is where the defender is at the very beginning of the shot, and that doesn't fully explain anything at all. That doesn't fully play out how defense should be at all, okay? Anyway, teleport steals and blocks. We've talked about this. You've seen it in this video where the defender will literally teleport to get a block. They weren't even close. It'll knock you out of your dunk meter, your layup, the steals for a while. I don't know if they fixed it now, but you were able to use the right stick to put your hands up, and that would literally give you a teleport steal onto the defender when you weren't even close to them. Another one you guys seen earlier was you're able to reach, miss the reach attempt, okay? So keep that in mind, miss the reach, and then still it like throws you into an animation that teleports you onto the defender and strips the ball out. That's not good for the game. If someone plays good defense, they are there, they hit X or square to reach at the right time and they strip the ball, I'm completely fine with that. But the teleporting onto players, I don't know how it's still in the game. The dunk meter. The dunk meter has been broken all year. It's one of the worst high attributes in the game. It's just not good. I mean, it's really just not good. Like, yeah, you can get dunks. Trust me. I know you can still dunk the ball, but it's a gamble. It is literally a gamble. You're better off just rolling the dice and seeing what you get. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to get 2 this time. You got 1 out of 6 right there to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what it feels like. Every time you miss a dunk meter, or at least for me, and I know a lot of people have agreed with this when I brought it up, it's very early, usually almost always very early or very late. It is not possible. I'm just going to say, you know, I've been an above average 2K player for a long time now. It is not possible for me to know how to literally watch the meter, time it right, and then the next time where I miss it, very early. Oh, time it right again. Time it right again. Next time I miss it, very early. It is not possible for me to be doing that. You see what I'm saying? That consistent where almost every time it's a very early. You're telling me I can green, and then very early, green, very early? It doesn't make sense. The only sense you can talk about is RNG. Mike Wang playing God with his own game, making you miss. Literally making you miss. RNG, guys. Joe Knows talked about this. And this is very important, okay? Although it does kind of go out into another game, he said, call me crazy, but 2K25 reminds me of Mario Kart. When you're in last, you're getting blue shells and stars, and when you're in first, you're getting coins and bananas. Now, if you didn't play a lot of Mario Kart, he's saying the game is trying to, basically, for people that are not doing good, let you win, let you catch up. For the people that are doing good, it's trying to penalize you. Now, as someone who wins a lot on the game every year at a high percentage, I feel this a lot. There's many times where I can almost just feel like 2K is going to make me miss a shot. I can feel that the rebound's going to go perfectly into the guy's hands that wasn't in position for the rebound, that the shots, that the white's going to go in, that the dude shoots. Rebounding though, rebounding in 2K25 is not good. There's so many times you're in perfect position to get the rebound and you get vertical rebounded by people that are not there. They're not in good position. I mean, this is supposed to happen in real life, right? You're not supposed to, every time you're in good position, get the rebound. But it's almost another very random part of the game where it doesn't even reward you for boxing out, for getting down early, for sealing out your man. There's so many times it just feels like the game wanted to give the other team the rebound. You were there. Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds was one of the most advertised in anything of 2K25. Like the ranked mode. 2K has been critiqued for a long time for not having a real ranked mode. Stage wasn't really ranked. Pro-Am was the same, very bland, very low production, put together ranked mode for years. It was the same thing over and over. It's so bad that all the Pro-Am guys have Pro-Am leagues and stuff like that. They don't care about ranked Pro-Am. No one that's actually deep into Pro-Am does that. They all do leagues and stuff like that. They brought into the game a ranked mode that doesn't work still. We are now 3 seasons, okay? 3 seasons into 2K25, and right before you lose the game in the proving rounds, you can close your app, and it will give you a loss. Let's say you're in the top 100, so you can see your win percent. It'll lower your win percent, but it won't actually give you a loss on the leaderboard. You see what I'm saying? You can still do that. The ranked mode is literally worthless, guys. Like, I'm not even joking. There's no reason to play it unless you're going to cheat like everyone else does that's, you know, in the top 5, top 100, whatever you want to call it. Secret patches. Lots of players, including myself, throughout the year, you can feel when the game feels different when you get on the game. You can literally feel it, bro. Like, my shot feels different. Or the steals. The steals is a big thing, where some days it felt like the steals were fine, and then some days you couldn't get a steal at all. Like, basically, and we know that 2K can do this, they can hot fix and change the game without dropping an actual patch. So a lot of 2K players feel like 2K does something behind the scenes, and they're changing things without telling us to experiment with the sliders and stuff like that. Now, speaking of patches, we all know that every time 2K makes a patch, they mess something up, and usually there's things in there that made no sense to mess up. For example, the Season 2 patch, it broke backing out of rec. Not only did it break that, it was messed up for about a whole month after that until they fixed it. They said records weren't going to reset. They did reset in Season 2. I don't really care about that, but it's the principle. Now, not only did they reset, it took them about 30 days to fix it. And keep in mind, neither of those had to do with the patch that came out in Season 2. Yet you couldn't back out of rec. Now, like I said, guys, you can critique something, doesn't mean I hate the game. I can have fun on the game. Do I have fun all the time? No. But you literally have to dodge buying the season pass right when you open the game. Think about that. That's like literally right when you open the game. Now, something no one talks about that I feel like is actually pretty important, because we're all just used to it at this point, which is crazy. But even after you spend $100 to get a build, you still have to progress it, and you still have to get badges. You still have to grind out your badges after spending $80 on a build. Me personally, I feel like you should just have if you're spending that much money and you still have to grind out the build, that's wild to me that people have never talked about. Now, layups are broken and literally are more random than dunks. Like, I have a 99 layup build that I'm going to make a video on, and it's just the most random ever. It's even worse than dunks with the RNG, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Due to RNG being so bad on three-point shots, the meta on twos, as you guys know, is either a pure lockdown and a post score, if you play twos, you know this, or a 99 mid-range and 99 offensive board build. There's no 3 seconds in most 1v1 courts. That's why post scores are so complained about in those modes. Not because they're actually hard to stop, but because they can get right under the basket and then do their drop step. In most modes, they can't do that. That's why they're complained about. And by the way, the funniest thing about 99 mid-range being the meta, being the least RNG out of any shot in the game, is the fact that mid-ranges are widely known as one of the least consistent shots in the NBA. Percentage-wise. Look it up if you don't know. So, nice realism. Yeah. Where's the realism on that? That mid-ranges are so good that people don't want to shoot threes. They want to make 99 mid-range builds, run around, and shoot. They don't want to dribble. That's what's happened. Now, back to the Desar tweet. Dribbling has been dumbed down after so many years of nitpicking every single move that's effective to where there's only a few good moves, which makes people then complain about everyone doing the same thing without knowing most of them are the cause of that due to wanting everything removed. Yeah, people are going to use the same moves when there's literally nothing else to do, because every time there's something decently good, oh, take it out, it's broken, Rhythm shooting. Now rhythm shooting is what Mike Wing obviously wants us to do this year. You have to time 2 different inputs. It gives you a much better green window and things like that. From time to time, I go on and off of rhythm shooting depending on what position I'm on, what play style, things like that, because sometimes I don't like it. Anyway, rhythm shooting has a early glitch, it has a very late glitch. Sometimes it doesn't even register. So if we're going to have something where one of the main developers of the game wants us to do this, it's gotta work. I play with a lot of people that get very, and you might not, but a lot of people get some very early glitches, some very late glitches. They're still good shooters. They still shoot a good percent, but once a game, sometimes multiple times a game, they'll be like, oh, I got the very early glitch. Oh, my rhythm shot didn't even register. I'm playing with good people, guys. These are not people that's gonna like not know how to flick their stick down and then up. You know what I'm saying? Rhythm shooter is better for every position, but debatable as a guard for me. However, you get way too many very early or lates. There's many times where it simply and literally does not register, which results in being a regular shot. Many believe 2K purposely makes certain things overpowered in the beginning of the year, so people will create those builds just for them to nerf it, or buff it, of course, the other way around. This can apply to another discussion, but then they over nerf or over buff what needed to be changed to balance gameplay out. We know this every year. 2K is very bad at balancing when they say to change something. So that's why in the last 2 or 3 years, I've been extremely critical on saying what I believe actually needs to be changed. I can complain about something and give my critique on something, but you don't hear me say nerf this, buff this, unless it's really bad, because 2K is notorious for going in and making something just not work how it was supposed to. We said, hey, turn this down a little bit. They super nerf it. You know what I'm saying? We say, hey, make this a little bit better. It's not very good. They over buff it to where it's too good. And then that's created a long line of people that don't critically think, blaming the community for a lot of the issues the game has when they drop a patch. Not even talking about the things they break that had nothing to do with that, but they can't sit there and say, hey, they said to nerf this a little bit and they super nerfed it. No, now they're mad because it was super nerfed. You see what I'm saying? It's bad. Passing lane steals feel horrible now. Very random. When the game released, there was a bug that was admitted by the 2K employee Zach Timmerman that caused a kind of speed boost into a steal. That was what needed to be fixed, yet 2K fixed that and made passing lanes feel random. Everything about this game, if I had one word to describe 2K25, random. It just doesn't reward playing the game correctly, having skill. There's so much that happens that is random. And we've talked about this before, why 2K wants that, but Park doesn't get back-to-backs unless you're a streamer. I literally have almost 1 million subscribers, guys, and I don't get back-to-back games in the Park. The only way you can get them, there's only a few people that get them. It's, Double H, Solo, Nadex, a few streamers, Cash Out. That's how you get back-to-backs. Because everyone's split up into all these modes, which has literally destroyed the main way 2K took off, Park. People don't play in Park. It's hard to go on a 10-win streak because you can't get a back-to-back game. Now you might be saying, okay, just go into the theater. Theater has meter. Yeah, theater has meter. That is where all the cheaters play. This is notoriously known if you guys are on Twitter in the 2K community. Now, you might not come across a lot of cheaters, but when you get to that GOAT rank, that purple logo, the algorithm is trying to match you up with people that are purple logo. Well, there's going to be a lot of cheaters there because even if they're not that good at the game, they're winning a lot because they can literally just press a button and it times it for them. There was a close shot glitch in the game the entire first season of the game. It was admitted to be an exploit by developers of the game where, if you guys don't remember, as long as you were very close to the basket and you did a close shot, especially rhythm shot, you could make 11 very tights in a row with basically your eyes closed. As long as you got the right thing, you could green it. Against a 99 strength, 99 block, 99 interior center, you could green 11 very tights in a row. The first 40 days of the game, that issue was in the game. First impressions is the most important thing. And yet our first impression of the game was, we're not going to fix this very bad exploit for 40 days. Think about that. And you know what's crazy is I almost forgot events are literally being cheated on. Every single event. We talked about the meter cheaters, right? Why does 2K have events and every single one of them you can use the meter? Now, I'm sure you guys understand where that's going. Every single event is won by cheaters. Now, you can win the event legit. You know, I'm not saying no one has won an event this year legit, but most of them are cheaters. On top of that, there is a new script. If you guys remember, the Titan guys, the Zins, whatever you want to call it, from last year, developed a script where you can kick people out of games. We talked about this towards the end of 2K24. Now, as I seen a tweet today on my timeline, I DM'd the guy and I said, you can quit out in the event and it doesn't lose your streak? He said, yeah, with a certain Zen script. Sometimes it pulls someone out of the game with you and it'll have the same effect. Everyone in top 10 of the event, the Poseidon's Reef that's going on right now, has lost 5+ times. Or like Ethernet splitter with a script or something, I don't know. I don't think you need an actual. So there's some sort of method people are doing now. Not only are they cheating and literally using a Titan or Zen, whatever you want to call it, they're somehow able to quit out of the event with some way that doesn't count as a loss in the event. The events are a disgrace, guys. They are an actual waste of time, and they are a spit in the face of us, of the people that are legit. You will never win an event. There's a very high chance you watching this video, you have no chance because cheaters. And it's getting even worse. Now they can quit out of games or however they're doing it and it doesn't count as a loss. Guys, that's everything that I could just think of in, I don't even know, 20 minutes of sitting down, 30 minutes of sitting down. I want you all to add on. That was no script, by the way. I know it kind of sounded like that at some times, but the only thing I wrote down was the issue. I didn't write an actual script to talk off of, but please let me know in the comment section if I missed anything. Drop a like. Obviously, I'm not going to ever, you know, have a logo or anything like that. But I just felt like this game has so many problems. Like I said, I don't think I've ever done this before. We highlight issues throughout plenty of news videos, but I don't think I've ever made a dedicated video to talking about problems with the game. I just feel like this one needed it. The devs are probably done changing the game with this new Season 3 patch, or almost done. So, I don't know. Maybe they can get some of these things fixed before 2K26, but you guys know how this goes. 2K26 is already in the works, obviously. Probably most of the dev team is over there already. Mike Wang's probably over there already. It's bad. It's bad. Like I told you guys, I don't take the game serious. That's how I can have fun when I do have fun. The other day, it was probably about a week ago now, I had my longest run of 2K in a while. I haven't played a lot of 2K since I was done with the Wimby challenge. It was like mid-October. And I had some fun. It was like probably 5 or 6 hours. I was playing 2K on my 7-foot playmaker, legend dimer, you know, dribbling up a little bit. It was fun. And then the next day I got on, I'm telling you, bro, it was one of the worst sessions I had of 2K ever. I mean, it was just nothing went my way. I'm talking about so many whites going in, people hitting crazy contested layups, and it was rough, okay? The only way I can have fun is not taking it that serious. Like, I mean, I don't know. I like playing a game where I won the game because I won. And the other team won the game because they won, because they played better. In this game, it's probably the least it's ever been like that. Like, yes, you know, I still have a 90 win percentage on the game, and I do win a majority of my games, but there's a lot where I'll lose, and it's awful. It's a bad feeling when you just played it and you experienced the game like literally making you lose sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's never been like this in 2K, where it's so random, where it just feels like Mike Wang is like, buddy, it's time to lose. I don't know. We could go on for a while. Thank you guys. I have no idea how this video is going to do. Like I said, I don't think I've ever done anything like this. So if you made it this far, comment down below, plug. Just plug to let me know you made it this far. And also, if you haven't seen my 4-hour movie, the best video I've ever made, click it right here. Tap it. My Wimby 60 to 99, no money spent video. It took 20 days of my life in total, including the gameplay and the editing. Click it, tap it, and I'm out of here. You might as well, because I'm leaving. Peace.